So today we're going to break down a story about a career that was right on the edge of burnout. It's really about that feeling. You know, the one when you see someone else's success and it just kind of stings? But what if that sting, that little moment of envy, was actually the key to a massive breakthrough? Let's get into how one professional completely turned that feeling around and found a whole new way of thinking about leadership.
Okay, so it all kicked off with this one super honest thought. Seeing a connection get a promotion on LinkedIn sparked this feeling, this envy. And that feeling, well, it turned out to be the real catalyst for a pretty profound journey of self-discovery. It was a huge signal that something, deep down, needed to change.
And to really understand why this hit so hard, we've got to look at the career that led up to this moment. Because on the surface, it looked like a total success story. But underneath all that, a deep sense of frustration was really starting to bubble up. This timeline just lays it all out, doesn't it? The first phase, from 2014 to 2020, was all about speed, just climbing that ladder as fast as possible across 5 different companies. But then came the sacrifice phase. 3 years stuck at one place, a global design-centric agency with 0 promotions. Now, this was a conscious choice, a trade-off to secure his family's future in a new country. But that sacrifice, it led directly to where he is now, feeling completely stalled out. And then came the first big breakthrough, and this was a huge one. It was this realization that the problem wasn't a lack of skill, and it wasn't a bad job market. Nope, the real issue was something much, much deeper. And this is where the whole perspective just flips. The weakness wasn't technical. It had nothing to do with coding or hitting deadlines. It was a lack of what you might call organizational and relational maturity. This is that next level stuff, right? The actual core skill set for leadership, thinking long-term, and really investing in people and relationships, not just tasks. I mean, this chart just lays it out perfectly. The old way, the tactical approach, was simple. Problem pops up, you leave the company. Hey, it's great for a quick salary bump, but it creates this pattern where relationships are totally disposable. The strategic approach, the one you need for leadership, is all about investing in those relationships to solve problems for the long haul. And here's the real kicker. The old solution, job hopping, had become the new problem. So, okay, how in the world do you fix years of a pattern like that? Well, you start by treating the core issue like it's a physical injury. I mean, think about it. You can't just go to the gym and start lifting heavy if you have a slipped disc. You have to heal first. This relational slip disc metaphor is just so perfect because it frames the problem in a way that makes total sense. He had this strained relationship with his manager, and trying to chase a promotion in that environment, it was like trying to deadlift with a serious back injury. You're not just going to fail, you're probably going to make things way, way worse. The first step wasn't about getting stronger, it was about healing. So instead of running away again, which was the old pattern, he decided to stay and consciously repair the damage. And the plan wasn't some vague idea. It was a crystal clear 3-step conversation. The whole point was to take responsibility and start rebuilding that professional bridge of communication. All right, so with that relationship finally on a path to healing, the stage was set for the next major insight. And this was a fundamental mindset shift in how to handle all those day-to-day interactions and little frustrations at work. This concept is just fascinating, the brown badge collector. He had this light bulb moment where he realized he was mentally collecting every single tiny failure, every negative comment, basically keeping this internal scorecard of grievances. And when you do that, it's pretty much impossible to forgive, to move on, or to build any real trust with your colleagues. The big shift was from being a collector to being an investor. So instead of focusing on who was right or wrong in the past, the new focus was all about future solutions and shared success. The goal wasn't about winning some argument anymore. It was about becoming a reliable, low-stress person for his manager to lean on. And look at this. This shows you the practical difference in just one simple interaction. The collector gives this high-stress update that's all about assigning blame. DevOps messed up. Ugh. The investor, though, focuses on clarity and the outcome. The data feed is processed. One person dumps problems on their manager, the other one provides stability. It's a game changer. So with these new tools for building relationships, the final and honestly the deepest piece of the puzzle fell into place. And that was finally understanding the real motivation that was driving this desperate, burning need for a promotion. This is the question, isn't it? The one that unlocks absolutely everything. Because for most of us, the surface level answer, more money, or a better title, that's rarely the real, true reason.
And the honest answer here was, well, it was surprising. The obsessive drive for that director title, it wasn't about the work, it wasn't even really about the money. It was this deep-seated need for someone else's approval, specifically to make his parents proud and feel their love.
And the belief underneath all of that was that if he could just get this title or, something totally random like winning the lottery, that would finally deliver the ultimate prize, this feeling of complete security and freedom from all the worry. But then came the real lightning bolt. The actual breakthrough was realizing that the core things he was chasing, financial security, a stable life for his family, he already had them. He had them right now, in this moment. The whole frantic chase was for something he had already built. His why was totally obsolete. So, what happens now? With that old why gone, and a new system for feeling good about himself in place, what does a healthy, sustainable path to leadership actually look like? Well, here it is. This is the new playbook, and it's a complete 180 from the old strategy. It's about valuing stability over speed. It's about healing first, then growing. It's about investing in people and showing leadership before you even ask for the title. And the most important part? The new why has nothing to do with proving your worth to others. It's all about creating value and protecting the security and freedom you've already worked so hard to achieve. And that brings us to the final thought here. This entire incredible transformation. It started by making a choice to stop collecting those brown badges, those old grievances. It all started by just letting go. So the question for all of us is, what's weighing you down that you could choose to release today?